Doesn't do a darn thing, does it? When I click the delete button, I want it to remove the darn thing. First, let's start with how do I do anything when that thing's clicked. Add an event listener, right? Now, our event listeners so far, we added at the very beginning, right? Inside a init. Can I start listening for that click on the remove button right off the bat? No, because it doesn't exist yet, right? And I'll go ahead and save you the trouble. If we do it on the template, that will not get copied when we clone it. So we need to do it after the thing is added, or at least after the thing is created. So render list item, it could be part of rendering the list item to add any event listeners that we need. I don't know, which is easier, fave or delete? I guess I put fave first, didn't I? We can do remove first. It's slightly more interesting, I guess. So let's say, again, we want the remove button, but we only want the remove button inside this item. So we can use item query selector just like we did to find flick name, right? So then we're only searching inside that one. Not every single delete button on the whole darn page. Because either they don't exist yet or they already have an event listener and I don't need to add a new one. So I'm searching for a button with a class of remove, right? That's how we did it. And then we want to add an event listener to that thing. What are we listening for? A click. And yes, click will also trigger when you tap. And yes, click will also trigger when you tab to it and hit enter. So click is good. Works fine with assistive technology as well. And we want it to call some function that doesn't exist yet. Seems like a good name for that would be remove flick. How's that sound? This dot remove flick. No parentheses, right? Not the return value of flick, of remove flick. Yeah, the parentheses. No, that it deleted for me, right? Oh, the screen, it's good now? Okay. So let's write this function, remove flick. I'll put it up here. Remove flick. Don't forget your comma, the property of an object. Should it take an argument? Well, it's going to take an argument regardless, right? It's going to at least take an event, right? Do we need to prevent a default? Buttons don't do anything by default if they're not submit buttons. This isn't even inside a form. How'd you do it? How'd you remove it from the page? Not worry about the array just now. Yeah.
When I called the function, I bound it to this, and then I did this dot remove.
Oh. Wait, this dot remove. If you bind it to this, if you don't bind it to this, what is this? The button, right?
Yeah.
So what's this gonna? Okay, you bound it. Ooh. Okay. So, okay, I gotcha. That is something I suppose you could do. What if we just, what's the event target? The button, right? So the LI would be the containing, basically the button's inside there, so maybe we could find one from the other. So you want to remove it's not its immediate parent though, right? Because there's the button, then there's the button group, then there's the dang flick. It'd be cool if, kind of like query selector, there were a way to check something's ancestors for a certain selector. And there is. Called closest, but it's not the parent. It's the parent's parent. And just in case we change the structure so that there are more things in between, I don't necessarily want to rely on exactly how far up the chain it is. I just want to check, like, is this the LI? Is this the LI? Is this the LI? But even then, if I change it to divs, I still want it to work. It's that flick class that's magic. So here's what I want. Element.closest returns the closest ancestor of the current element, or the current element itself. It will check itself. That matches the selectors. Now, there's a warning here that it's experimental. Let's look at the compatibility table. Okay, it works in everything except Internet Explorer. And has for quite a while, not even just the most recent versions. So, for the sake of class, we're going to say we can use this. So where's remove flick? So remember, event.target is the button, right? So we want to check its ancestors and itself for the selector .flick. So it'll look for the class flick, right? First, it'll check the button itself. Not there. So it'll check its parent. Not there. Then it'll check its parent. Aha. That matches the selector. And then we just want to remove it. And yep, there's just a remove thing. So that's all we would have to do. If you wanted to make it clear to yourself, you could say list item equals that much, and then call list item remove. It's still just a two-liner, so that's not so bad. Does it work? Yep. And it even removed the right one. Worth a commit. So remove flicks from the DOM, but not the array just yet. Kind of a separate problem.